One time we were making a podcast. I had a heart attack when we were in PART2 in March of 1977. And I was in McCarty Medical Center, and I used to go up to the roof because all the heart patients were on the top floor. So I went up to the roof to get sun for a little while each day, because otherwise I'm just sitting in the bed. There was this old man. I'd always catch him behind the tree, the potted trees there. They're hiding behind, looking for the nurse. And we got to know each other, Ramon Maxa's brother. He had a heart attack, but he wasn't allowed to smoke. He'd look out, me, he'd see it was me, he'd go, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" He's a sweet old guy. As a grandparent, that's the thing that I missed the most, was that energy. I could go all day as a parent. We did so many travel together. I was involved in their lives all the way till we lived in New York. We lived in every borough but Queens. We lived in Staten Island and Manhattan, all over Manhattan. We got evicted, And then we moved to Los Angeles in 1969. I came later. I came over to Mexico to do a film, but they were all born over in New York. We were all like refugees. We're all in this together. I had just learned to drive a car. She had just learned to drive a car. We didn't know anything. And we rented a little house over here in West LA. And then we needed more room, and I didn't have a job. We tried to save our money, and so we kept driving further and further out because no one lived out in what is now Malibu. So we got a little ranch, a little 5-acre room. We were there for 2 years. We got evicted because I cut down the barbed wire because it was hurting the children, And he wanted to put horses. I said, I was here before the horse, but the landlord didn't care. So we left, and I found a house, and I told the landlord, who was from my hometown, I'm not going to stay here anymore. I don't want another landlord the rest of my life. What I want to do is rent until I can buy a house. I said, okay. So it was just month to month.
Yes.
And we saved our money, and we bought the house in 1973. Across the street were a retired teacher and a fireman. Down the block was a retired police officer. Over here was a new couple just married. Next door was a couple with 6 children. They ran a motel somewhere. That's what it was like. Everyone had horses and dogs and children, no fences, nothing. People all over the place. In 1974, 75, Pepperdine University opened its campus right there. But the property value went up.
Yes.
The old people had to sell. Because the property value shot up, they couldn't afford not to sell. They couldn't afford the taxes now.
Yes.
Because the land were reevaluated. And people started building mansions everywhere. When Emilio was born, I was through the labor, and then they took her into the room, and I followed her in. They threw me out. They said, "No, you can't come in here." So the second one, I said, no, we're going to do it ourselves. So we did. I delivered Ramon, our second son, in the living room in Staten Island in August 7th, 1963.
With a midwife?
Nobody. This woman, I swear to God, just the two of us. And it became an emergency because she ruptured and was bleeding very badly. And so I had to call the ambulance. Not much scares you after that. It was foolish. We shouldn't have done it. I should have had a midwife. But we wanted the experience. So for the third one, Charlie, we went to class, to Lamar's. We were the early guinea pig. And you know who was in our class? I just adore her. I see her when I go to Washington. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. They both had boys a day apart. She was an attorney in New York. And one day, a friend of mine went to see her, and she said, "Say hello to Janet for me." And my friend said, "No, you mean Martin." She said, "No, Janet." I said, "I'm sorry, Your Honor, how do you know Janet?" We went to school together. We had babies together. The image of relationship, of marriage, is becoming one. That's the worst. You can't become one. If you do, you have to decide which one, you or him. And then the other one resents it. No, you become yourself, and you love each other enough to risk the other's wrath by telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth all the time. This is the only place where you're going to get the truth. That's why. You got to risk it, you know what I'm saying? So when you get married or when you have a relationship, you have to promise to help each other become yourself. Don't become me. No, you don't become me. I'm not going to save you. I'm not going to make you happy. No, 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 no. No one can make you happy. Nobody.
Only
That's
you.
a fallacy. That's why marriages fail. He didn't make me happy. You are responsible for being happy. You have to choose to be happy by living an honest life. And that's what we see in each other. We say, oh, that person has something I want. They have something I need. They're living an honest life. I must have that for my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's really what it's about. And then you keep a record of each other's history. And it's the most important history because you know her as a mother, as a wife, as a friend. That her parents don't know her as the mother. No, no, no. You are responsible for recording her history in your heart. She is important to the world because her history lives in your heart. You know what I'm saying? Your children are all recorded in your heart. There's a book.
Yes.
And you are important, and he's important because you've recorded his life.
Yeah.
It's important. His life is important because you said so with your love. That's what it is. We keep a history. You don't just dismiss someone. There's a whole history. You don't just throw each other away.